Okay, we are going to be doing sort 20 from the yellow book today, and we're going to be continuing looking at vowels, making their short and long sounding words. So last week you were playing around with words that had short ah. So remember, this little loopy thing at the top means it's saying its short sound, like ah. And then we were looking at how to make a sounds in words. So at makes its short sound if it is in a closed syllable, like it's capped off by a consonant. And we can have at making its a sound by doing magic E when we end words in E. For example, we have the word cat, and that makes its short sound. Kaata, that's a closed syllable, that lives over here. Cat. But then we bring it over here. How do we make it say a? Ooh. We make it say a by adding magic E. Now, E doesn't say anything. It just makes a say its long sound. So we now have Kate. So, magic E is one way we can get A to say its long sound. We can also use A or A. So two vowel teams. So we can use magic E, vowel team AI, vowel team AY to make our A sound. So A and A. Okay, so this week we are going to be looking at how do we make O make its short sound and its long sound. So O is the short sound of O, and O is its long sound. So we have got words that have O in them, like pot or mop. Okay, they're closed syllables because we've got the consonant capping off that vowel there, keeping the O nice and short. What if we had the word mop? Let's pull that down here. If it's sitting in here in our short vowel sound, it's a closed syllable, it says mop. I want to make some long sound O's. You guessed it, first method is magic E. Magic E jumps over this single consonant and says, hey, don't say O, say O. So this actually says mope. You might mope around if you're a bit sad, or mope around if you're not feeling very well. So mop, mope, mop, mope. That's the magicness of magic E. Doesn't actually say anything, just clicks onto a word, speaks to the vowel and says, hey, say your long sound. So we've got magic E as first method to make O say O. Okay, now we've got two vowel teams, just like we had with A. We have got two vowel teams that make the O sound. So we've got OA and we've got OW. So very similar. We had AI and AY. So this time we've got, well, I suppose it's not that similar, but anyway, it's two vowel teams that make the O sound. So we've got O, single vowel O, and then we've got magic E making O say O, and we've got OA and OW. So we have got three ways that we can make the O sound in words. And these are all, these are open syllables. Okay, so, and the other thing that's actually not specifically addressed in your sort, but I want to point it out, is if we have O finishing the syllable, so in this syllables, it is closed off with a consonant. But if we have something like conut, now that's actually got 3 syllables in it. So let's look at all those syllables. So in both of these 2 syllables, the vowel finishes the syllable. When a vowel finishes the syllable, it says it's long sound. So that is an open syllable. It says co. It doesn't say co. When we look at the word coconut, we don't say co-nut. We say coconut. And the reason why is because when a vowel finishes a syllable, it says it's long sound. What about this syllable? The vowel is finishing the syllable, so it says it's long sound. Co. What about this syllable? This vowel is capped off by a consonant. That is, becomes a closed syllable, so the U says it's up sound on its U sound. So it's co-nut. So there's actually no mystery why vowels sometimes say they're long sounds and sometimes say they're short sounds. We break the word into syllables and we look. Is the vowel open? If it's open, remember, if a vowel is open and doesn't have a consonant to cap it off, it feels a bit vulnerable, so it makes its harder sound to sort of strengthen itself so that it can be strong enough to finish off the syllable. If a vowel is capped off by a consonant, it can be soft because it's safely nestled in the middle of a syllable. So it feels like it can be safer. It's like the door's closed, it's safe. Door's open, the vowel's got to stand up strong and make its strong sound. So that's coconut. So that's actually not talked about in this word sort specifically. But you can actually have words that make, I guess, a 4th way. I'll put it here. So that's 1, 2, 3. So you've got magic E, you've got your 2 vowel teams, and a 4th way is that if O ends a syllable, then it's going to make its long sound. But there's not actually words in your word sort that address this one. But I just want to point it out to you because it taps into what we were talking about last week. Okay, so O. So let's do the word sort together. We'll see if we can discover anything interesting. Right. So we've got our CVC, which is our vowel is closed by consonants, that makes it short sound. This is our O sound. We've got our CVCE, so this is our, I'll do a little dash around E just to remind you that's your magic E. Oh, hang on, I put it too high up, it doesn't line up with this one. I'll do that in line with that one. So we've got C, consonant, vowel, consonant, so that'd be like our cat, but now we've got cat, or mop's a better example. We've got mop here, CVC, makes it short sound, but we bring mop over here and we put a magic E on the end of it, and suddenly it becomes mope. Okay, so these are going to be all our magic E words. Then we've got our consonant, vowel, vowel, consonant. That's when we've got our vowel team. So I'm going to put that vowel team card there. And that makes the O sound. And we've got consonant, vowel, vowel. And that's our O team. Now, the reason this is consonant, vowel, vowel, consonant is because we never have OA at the end of a word. So we're always going to have a consonant finishing off this word, whereas we do have OW at the end of the word. So hopefully you'll actually see that. I probably shouldn't have pointed that out. I'd actually like you to sort of observe that as we go through the words. But anyway, so we'll start sorting the words into their categories. So we've got words like long, long, L-O-N. It's not a magic E. It's not a vowel team. This is also a vowel team, so it must be over here. L-O-N. So we've got our consonant, vowel, consonant. We've also got stock over here. St-O-K. Consonant, vowel, consonant. We've got our vowel nestled in between consonants. So it says it's short sound. Okay, what about a word like coal, like black, you know, black coal that you can burn in a fire? Coal. We could spell it coal. That would be the magic E form. We could spell it coal, although that looks a bit like it says cow to me. Or we could spell it coal. Which one do you think looks right? Coal, coal, or coal? This one is correct. So we will put coal under here. That uses that vowel team to make that O sound. It's not really an O sound. It's not coal, it's coal. That's sort of more our accent more than anything though. Okay, and while we're under here, I'm going to write coach. K-O-ch. And roast. R-O-st. Roast. Okay, what about a word like close? Close. Doesn't have a Z in it, even though it sounds like it does. We're using the S to make that Z sound. S often does make a Z sound in words. Close. Well, that says closs. But if I bring my magic E on board, then that says close. K-L-O-S. So that is a magic E word. Close. Close the door. Froze. I was so cold I froze. That says froze. That says froze. Magic E. It's very powerful. Okay, I could have glob or globe. So O-O. O-O. So the presence of that magic E modifies this short vowel to say its name. Very, very powerful and a very common way to get the long vowel sound in words, whether it's A, O, any of the vowels. Okay, let's play around with some of these now, because these words are sometimes the hardest. We sort of know how these ones are spelt, or we should. This is sometimes a little bit harder. So what about show? Sh-O. Is that right? Or show. I went to a show. Hopefully you can see this one is correct. So I'll put this in this list. Show. I want to show you my new toy. Blow. Blow out the candles. Go slowly. Slow down. Grow. Hopefully you're seeing, it's a very obvious pattern, this OW is always at the end. Okay, so that means if you hit a word that you think you want to use a vowel team to make the O sound, and you think, oh, which one? Can't decide. Which one? I want to write the word throw. Do I use this or this? Well, which one would you use? Is the O at the end of the word? Throw? Yes, it's the last sound in the word. So I would automatically use this one. So that would be throw. Snow. Snow. Know. I want to know you. Now, what about the word roam? As in not roam the big city, but roam. I want to roam around. Or my dog got out and he roamed the neighbourhood. Roam. R-O-M. Ah, I might use this one because that's not in at the end of the word. So roam. So hopefully you can see we're using this particular double vowel team when it's in the middle of a word. So in a way, if you have the O sound at the end of a word, it's got to be this. And perhaps when the O sound is in the middle, you might have to choose, is it a magic E or is it an OA? So you could have roast, R-O-st. Or you might be thinking, maybe it's roast. Okay, so hopefully you can see that's correct. And I'm just explaining this because spelling can be a little bit problem solving. You hit a word and you think, oh, there's probably 2 options. Don't be afraid to write it out and go, which one looks better? Because sometimes our brain actually does know how to spell words and we can just be a bit lazy. We just slap the letters down and think, oh, it's obvious which word I mean. I'm not going to fuss about spelling it correctly. But I want you to start being really fussy with your own spelling and really start trying to apply these words to your writing. Okay, what about the word oat? Oat. It could be oat, using my magic key, or it could be oat. I know it's not O because that only goes at the end of the word. Which one's right, oat or oat? Hopefully you can see that one's right. Okay, I've got loaf, loaf. Oh, roam we had, roam around. Now, have we got all our froze clothes? Wrote, wrote. Okay, you might think, oh, I wrote a poem. Wrote. Hopefully you can see that just looks wrong and that just looks right. So when you're tossing up between whether to use your vowel team OA or your magic key, hopefully you can do a little bit by eye, and certainly after you've been practicing these words all week with your spelling list, hopefully you're going to be absolute experts on spelling all of these words. Now, I'm going to do the oddball down here because I don't have any space up there. It's just one word that's oddball in this list, and that is whose. Whose. Because we might think that should say hose. It's a magic key after all. Why doesn't that jump over and say hose? Or whose or something. You know, do some words we sort of slightly make an inflection with that W. But this word says whose. Whose toy is that? Whose lunch is that? So that's an oddball because it doesn't say, as we might expect, O. Okay, so we've got our OT words and our OOO words, and you can see that we can spell those. And remember, in addition to this, it's not in the list, but O can make its name if it ends a syllable as well, like coconut. Okay, well, have fun practicing your spelling words, and I'll see you soon. Bye.